My thing is, in that situation, she sure went to a police station, like in Hartford, something close to the police station.
She couldn't get out of her apartment because she had people in front of her apartment rumbling. It was bad.
If you're getting followed, you should go to the police station.
She called 911.
That if somebody was ever following me, to make sure I did
Yeah.
that.
She was just like, I'm going to
They
go
were
home.
blindsided by the whole thing.
I'm going to go home, try to get in my house. She couldn't get in her house. It was just bad. All the way around.
A friend of ours, let's see, who was it that died first? Her mother passed away Christmas morning, and the father passed away January 5th. And we were going last Saturday for the celebration.
Can we do the pledge, please?
That'll be the thing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, call the meeting to order. You do a roll call, please.
Oh, sure, yes. Trustee McMahon, Trustee Lacewell.
Here.
President Bank,
Here.
Trustee AG, Trustee Wolford,
Here,
Trustee Pinal,
Here.
Tom Green.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Motion to approve the minutes. These are the committee meeting minutes of December 9th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Next are public comments. Okay, and we're gonna go on to approve the bills,
Why
okay?
do we have two meeting minutes?
One is amended, and then President Bank, I need to have that approved.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
I didn't see them there, but I just happened to see that I had two of them.
it's on there.
The other one's a village business meeting from Tuesday, November 25th.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to,
actually, we have to approve that. So I need a motion to approve the amended minutes for the business meeting of Tuesday, November 25th. And it was amended for,
It was for the Christmas decoration. I had it in there for 150 and 50. It should have been 175 and 25 for the winners.
yeah,
Okay.
so can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, let's do the bills, okay? We have testing, two contracts, 395833, 395834. We have sewer testing, 174, 146, 146, water testing, 17 and 17. Biscayne Computers, 126. The 457 retirement plan, 375. Civic Plus, our website subscription, 2568.83. Casey's, 235.39 or 59. KPH, 999.29. Gina DeRose for zoning, 80. Frontier, 445.30. 982.70. Sickich for accounting, 1567.50. Barrett Switzer for legal, 2286. And USA Blue Book for water supplies, 1910. The total is 18,101.98, of which 8666.92 comes out of the general fund and 9435.06 will come out of water and sewer. Are there any questions or comments? Can I have a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second
All right,
it.
have a roll call, please.
Trustee Lacewell,
Aye.
President Bank,
Aye.
Trustee AG, Trustee Wolford,
Aye.
Trustee Pinal.
Aye.
All right, motion passes, thank you. Next, under old business, I have an update. We had a meeting with IDOT and our Ryan, our engineer from Sickich on Monday to discuss the IDOT 173 project. Yeah, you're not gonna like what I have to say. Now they're looking at possibly putting in a retention pond on the west side of Worcester because they're still having problems finding out where the drainage system actually goes. So they're gonna probably put it so it goes into a retention pond and then can get released into the creek next to the bike path.
Why would
They're still working on parking spaces on 4th Street, because the original design didn't have enough, and I had told them that. So the bottom line is, where they're at, you would not expect to see any construction until maybe the spring of '29.
I saw Severson, I think's his name. He was at the breakfast in Poplar Grove the fire department was having, and he said that he's working with them, trying to get pushed through, because I said we're very unhappy with 173, and he's trying to get them to come in, hopefully within this year, and grade it, and then just put a skim coat on it, at least so we have some.
Whatever, this project is for 2029 now, yeah.
Where exactly were they planning to put the retention pond?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
They're still looking at it,
Oh,
okay?
just it's somewhere by Worcester Street then?
They said west of Worcester, that's all I know. So somewhere between 173 and the bike path. That's the best I can tell you,
All right.
okay? And might be even south of the bike path, I don't know. All they're interested in is since they can't find out where the end of the drain line is, nobody can, we've been looking at it for years, okay? They're gonna decide probably to put in a retention pond and then have a release mechanism into the creek if they have to do it that way. So they said that most likely spring of '29 is when you would see construction start, okay? Whatever Dave Severson said,
Yeah.
we'll find out what he's got to
Yeah,
do.
because they have that pond over there off of
Beach
Worcester.
pond, right?
I don't know, it's that great big pond?
That's Pete's Pond,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry, you didn't know the name.
That's not
Something they.
That's not a retention pond. That would not be an acceptable thing for IDOT to use, because it's always filled with water.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna do us any good, okay? So,
I just-
that's what they're at. They also told us that when it does come through, the street lighting is the responsibility of the village. So all the light poles and everything like that are gonna, but the good news is, you can use MFT money to pay for that, okay? So there should be enough money in the MFT fund, because they're not that much money, they're like $3,000 a pole. And we've got like maybe 10 of them, so you're only talking $30,000 for lighting, it's not a tremendous amount of money. The other thing is the corner over here on Worcester and 173, that's us. Because the village signed an agreement with IDOT, I told you this before, in 1990, by President Vermette, and they presented it to us, and the village is responsible for the drainage system, the parking spaces, the curbs, and the sidewalks, okay? Until such time as they come through and redo all this. So that is still, even though it's a 35-year-old contract, it's still a live document, right?
Yep.
Okay, so even though,
Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't know if there's any termination language within the documents.
I didn't see any termination language at all.
35 years? I mean, you might let me see the document.
Okay, well,
I can get it to you.
let's have a discussion about that, you and I, okay? And see what we can come up with. I'll get you a copy of that agreement, okay? But that's where it's at right now with IDOT, so
Not good.
it's just the way it is. There's not a whole lot that we can do about it, okay? It's just, they're bigger than we are, okay?
It had been suggested in an earlier meeting that maybe we need to put some horses or something out around it, just to keep a car from driving into the.
Well, yeah, what I would, something that we're gonna have to look at, I'll probably have to talk to Justin Crone, who's the county road engineer, and see if he can come out and take a look at it and give me some ideas about what we can do with it. If it was up to me, it's only gonna be another 3 years or so. I just soon dig it up, fill it in with gravel, and leave it, okay? But I don't know that that's feasible, so let's find out first if I can do something like that, okay? But they let us know that that's us, so.
It's enough of a hazard, though, that
Yeah.
I think we need to take responsibility for.
Yeah, either we can put a plate over it, we can do something with it,
Yeah,
but,
because we filled it in before somewhat.
just gonna have to
That-
we're gonna have to keep on it. So let me do some investigation, because I just found out about this yesterday, so that it was our responsibility to take care of this, so, I wanna get you up to snuff. Okay, next on here, we have Jay-Z, who's the owner of the old gas station, okay? We got an update, he's supposed to have all his architectural plans, it's everything late next week, so that he can start to move forward with the project. I talked to him about the semi-trailers that are parked on his property. One of them actually has building materials in it for that project, but he said he'll get them taken care of. He also wanted to know, and I don't know if we can do this, but he wants to keep his business and liquor licenses, but he doesn't want to have to pay for them until he opens. So do we pull his business licenses and just let him have the building permits and then reissue the business licenses when he's ready to open? Or do we have to have him on a continuous license?
Well, I have had situations where someone gets a liquor license because they want to make sure they can before they spend $1 million building a building. And we have done that in other communities where we issue the license and then basically just put it on the shelf. And once they're done with the building and get a certificate of occupancy, then we
Okay.
present them with the liquor license.
I think
So
that would
I don't
be-
know why you couldn't do that here.
I don't think any
None of
reason
it
why
other
we
communities.
can't.
Have we ever denied a liquor license though?
I don't.
So I don't know if it's, maybe it's just better just get rid of it and then he applies again for it.
It depends on how long he thinks it's gonna be.
Well, I mean, he's not selling any alcohol, so it really doesn't matter much, okay? And he's not running a business yet, so I don't see where
Not really running
that's gonna
anything.
affect anything, so I don't see any reason why we just can't just not collect any fees until he's ready to go, and then we'll start all over
It's a
again,
loss of revenue, but.
okay? In the meantime, at least he's gonna be working on that thing and making it look better, and I don't wanna step in, I don't wanna get in his way of doing that. So I'll let him know we're just gonna let that go.
Are we
Okay.
supposed to make the decision now or wait for the business though, the business meeting?
I don't know that we made to make a decision on it, I
Oh.
can just let him know.
I just.
Right.
I mean, we're basically just going to keep the license
I'm just gonna
in
suspend him.
existence, and it's just kind of dormant
Yeah,
while he does whatever it is, how long it's
Yeah.
gonna take. I mean, 6 months or 4 months or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
It
Okay.
makes sense to me because if you take it away from him, it's less incentive for him to keep going and move forward with his project to make the thing
yeah.
better, to
So
get
we'll
it
just,
done.
we'll just
make
put it
the
on hold
community
and,
better.
You could walk
you know,
away
we'll
from
see
it.
how it goes from there, okay? All right. Next thing on here is raffles. Crystal amended the ordinance for the raffles to say that, a series of raffles no more than 12 in a 12-month period, instead of saying no more than one per month for 12 months. So if they wanted to have all 12 in 1 month, they could do it, but that's all they could have for the year. So, that's been amended. Tom said you had a comment to make on the
I
application.
already talked to Crystal about it, and she's gonna
Okay.
make that change. And it's
All right.
just on the application, so it doesn't need to be acted.
All right, so the
It's
amendment,
basically a typo.
okay, so the amended ordinance is ready for vote at our next meeting, okay? Next, I want to talk about the playground and the well house, and for that, I am going to relocate myself. Because I want to talk to you and not at you. So, at the last meeting, we had our building inspector and our zoning officer here to explain what condition this building is in, approximately how long it's taken to get this building in the condition it's in, what it's gonna take to redo this building, what it's gonna take from a legal standpoint as far as a preservation committee, as far as what kind of money is available, what kind of labor has to be used, all right, et cetera. And you obviously understand that this is a very convoluted project that's gonna cost a tremendous amount of money, okay, for a building that I still don't know what use we have of it. I know some people in town want to turn this into a museum, which I think is a gross waste of money because nobody's gonna go to that museum. Capron is not the center of the universe, and we're certainly not a tourist attraction by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't really see the purpose in it. What I do see is a reason to spend some money to commemorate the building and the water tower, in a more reasonable fashion, for a lot less money, that would probably serve a couple of purposes if I could have my way, okay? And this includes the playground, so I want to talk both. The church does not want to deal with the property, they don't want us to use it, they don't want us to sell it, they don't want to sell it to us, so the two other options I had were the conservation district and the church, and they both are not interested in doing that. So we're back to the property that we own, okay? Now, I've been doing this job for 4.5, going on 5 years, and I think you all understand that I try to be as responsible with the village's money as I possibly can and still get the things done that we need to get done. So, since we own a piece of property that I think is pretty well located and is large enough to accommodate the playground equipment that we want to put in it, and is far enough away from Route 173 and the bar, etc., that it's not going to be a problem. If we go out and want to buy a piece of property in the subdivision, now we're going to have people complaining because they don't want it next to their house. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we're not going to make everybody happy, okay? I got an email today from Mary Lynn Lubinsky with a petition that's got 201 signatures on it that says it's from past and present people that lived here. We have no way of verifying the signatures or who these people are, etc. And even so, 201 petition signatures on a town of 1,400 does not give me a mandate to do what they, right?
Put on the ballot.
So the bottom line is, all right, my recommendation is that we get a quote to tear the building down, save as much of the material as we can, the bricks, etc., and use that material to build an entrance to the playground and commemorate the existence of the water tower and the pump house with a plaque or a pedestal type thing with all the information in a picture and who built it and all that good stuff on there that can be there for a long, long time. And we can put up a couple of bike racks, and you can call it Water Tower Park to commemorate the place where it's at. And I think we can do a lot of good with that. And then the area that's in front of that playground up towards 173, we can buy like a portable movie screen, and we can do movies in the park on Friday night like they used to do on the back of the building. We could put in a couple of picnic tables. We can enhance that piece of property so it's just not sitting there dormant, and we can use it. It's well protected. It's got a solid wall from Surface Manufacturing that isn't, there's no windows, there's no doors, there's no noise, there's no fumes, there's no nothing there. It's a solid wall. At the back end towards Ogden, there's a huge evergreen tree that blocks it from the street, and we're gonna fence it in. And it's also far enough back for 173. There isn't gonna be people kicking balls into the street. It's not a park, it's a playground. It's gonna have an apparatus in it that's gonna be fenced in, and it'll give our kids some place to go. You just sent me an email
Yes.
2 days ago that there were kids going down Show Street and they broke a chair and they were out into the cemetery. When kids have nothing to do, kids will find things to do, and not necessarily the things we want them to do, okay? So we need, this has been needed here for a long time. The actual existence of that piece of property took me a little while to figure out what we could do with it, but we have, okay? I think we got a couple of quotes on some pretty decent equipment that we can put in there at a reasonable cost, okay? And if we add the main entrance to the park with the historical value and everything, my understanding is there also used to be a Veterans Memorial up there, and we could use some of the brickwork to rebuild one of those and for our World War I, World War II veterans, etc., okay? So there's things that we could do that I think would be more of an enhancement for the village than spending $250,000 on a building that there's no use for anymore, unfortunately, okay? And in my opinion, all right, I mean, nobody said anything about this building until I did, okay? All of a sudden, it's important. Well, if it was so important, How come it wasn't taken care of 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, okay? All of a sudden, it's the heart of Capron. It wasn't treated like the heart of Capron, okay? It wasn't maintained like the heart of Capron. And we have other things to do with our money than on a boondoggle like that. That's my opinion. I want to know if you guys have any opinions of your own.
Well, like I said at the last meeting, it's different if you have something in mind for the place, but nobody seems to, and that's what it's just sitting there getting worse and worse and worse. If there was actually something planned for the area that, maybe would bring in money or something that's different.
Were we gonna leave it to on the ballot or something like that?
Well, I called the village, I called the county clerk. You can't have it on the ballot in April. It was too late to put anything on the ballot, so it would have to wait till November. I really don't want to wait till November to make a decision on this. I mean, we had a meeting here, we've had more than one, okay? We've had them streamed, nobody's come here. We had a couple of people come. At the last meeting when we had Craig here and we had Gina here, 16 people watched it online. Okay, and since then, we've had maybe 20 more people watch it online, and there's been no comments, no nothing. So I just don't think that this is appropriate. I mean, we talked to everybody about turning it into a library a couple of years ago, and we got a flat no. Okay, that they don't want it, the village doesn't want to do it, and I don't see where this is any different. And just sitting here and just ignoring the problem isn't going to make the problem go away. It's becoming an unsafe structure, okay? And if we do put the playground there, we got to do something with it, okay? And I think that what we have planned out, and we can design something that's going to look really nice and be we're going to have food for Fridays there in the summertime. I think it's a nice enhancement for the village to have our money go in that direction than someplace else, okay? So, Glenn?
Believe that we need to take that building down as soon as it's feasible, repurpose as much of the material as we can, take some of those bricks, the historical remnants, use that for some kind of a memorial gateway into the park, put up some kind of a plaque commemorating what had been on the site in the past, and then get that playground in as soon as we can.
Okay.
Let's have kids playing this summer.
All right. Melissa?
I agree 100% with everything everybody said, but maybe we can do like a yearly celebration.
Okay.
That would make
All right.
everybody in the town happy,
Yeah. I'd rather than sit back there and talk about it, I wanted to get out in front of
Like
you
a grand
guys.
opening, like you're saying?
Yes, like, okay, you guys want to celebrate this building, we repurposed it, let's do a grand opening, let's have everybody here that really, it meant something to them. Let's make it special.
Yeah.
Here's what we did for you guys to make it special, and then every year after that, we'll get together and make it special in some way, shape, or form. That way, okay, so this building sat and rotted. Nobody
Yeah.
did nothing for it.
Right.
And it is special to them, and so, okay, from this point on, we'll make it every year. We'll go to the gateway and we'll make it special. We'll celebrate Capron every year. Since certain villagers have made it a point that it is that special to them, then I want to see them show up for Capron.
Yeah.
Show up for Capron. Show up on that day that we have that special celebration for your bricks that we took the time to build into something special.
Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to do, okay? We get to the rest of this now.
It sounds like you're actually taking and doing something responsible with something that's been neglected for
A long
probably
period
over
of time.
50 years.
And making future plans with it.
You're being responsible with the money, you're being responsible with the property, you're being responsible with the future of Capron. I love the way you're going with this, I love what you're doing, plus you're taking all this stuff and commemorating what was there and saying, yes, we do love Capron, this has been neglected, it has to go, but here we go, we'll take it, mold it into the future for our future residents.
This will be our legacy.
Okay,
Excellent.
thank you. Next on the agenda is our 2021 building codes. We talked about moving forward with adopting the codes. I just want to let you know, we gave Tom a copy of Belvedere's ordinance adopting the 2021 building codes and some background information that goes along with that. So based on last month's vote, I am directing Tom to come up with a similar document package for the village to incorporate the 2021 building codes.
And I talked with Crystal before the meeting, that was why we were in the back, and we're tag teaming a little bit. She can do some of the work, I can do some of the work.
Okay.
We'll make sure it's.
Okay. All right, next, and certainly not last year, growth dimensions. By the way, I want to let you know, R1 will not be here tonight. Paige called, and she came down with COVID, so she's at home. So, and we asked Pam to come back because you weren't here at the last meeting, all right? Neither was Kim, but she's not here now. But I wanted her to come back to give you an opportunity to hear Pam's presentation on what she has to offer us. And Tom has dealt with growth dimensions a bit too, and
Yeah, no, I was, my partner, Dick Van Hubber, has been associated with Growth Dimensions forever. He was the president of Growth Dimensions for a while.
Yes, for a long
he
time.
was.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're a very positive organization. There's not enough I can say.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, thank you for welcoming me back.
Oh,
I
you're
appreciate
welcome.
it. And Happy New Year. So I'm Pamela Lopez-Fettis. I'm the CEO for Growth Dimensions Economic Development. And on behalf of Growth Dimensions, I'd just like to invite the Village of Poplar Grove to become a public investor
Wait,
in our
Poplar
county. I'm sorry, thank you very much. Village of Capron, to become a public investor in our countywide economic development efforts. Growth Dimensions serves as Boone County's only economic development organization, working in close partnership with local governments. We work with employers, educators, regional partners in order to attract investment, support business expansion, and strengthen our workforce and infrastructure. Now, our work directly contributes to the job creation, tax-based growth, and long-term community vitality. Over the past year alone, Boone County has experienced an unprecedented momentum. This is mostly driven by private sector investments, strategic infrastructure alignment, and coordinated public-private leadership. This past year, we've had, estimate, 2.5 million square feet have been occupied by these projects. Over 3,600 new jobs have been created, $4 billion in commitments and active projects have been executed. These are not accidental results, but really it's an outcome of our sustained collaboration and shared commitment that we've had with the public partners. By investing in Growth Dimensions, the Village of Capron will be able to advance business attraction, expansion projects that create jobs and enhance the tax base. We'll be able to ensure your community has a voice in countywide regional economic development strategies, be able to leverage data, marketing resources, professional expertise, and that individual communities really, it's very expensive to achieve alone. Be able to support workforce, infrastructure, and site readiness initiatives, and this is essential to become long-term competitive with other projects in other areas, other communities. At Growth Dimensions, we really view public investment not as a contribution, but really a strategic partnership. It's one that delivers measurable results and returns and positions our county to be more competitive, and especially with this rapidly changing and growing economy, we need to do things differently, and we need to make sure that we're paying attention to our local economy. But I want to take this time to really thank you for your time, your leadership, and your consideration for considering this investment. And I really think as a partner, we can really make some significant improvements. And I did bring some extra brochures in case you needed them again.
You gave us, I think, last time, but she probably doesn't have them.
I think I got one here, yeah, I got it. Did you need another one? You've got it, okay?
so I want to elaborate a little bit. You helped out with a couple of businesses that we have in town
Yes.
with their expenses as far as like redoing their building to get it ready for occupancy and stuff like that?
So, one of the things that Growth Dimensions do, we manage the enterprise zone on behalf of the administrator. The administrator is Boone County, and then there's a committee, and you're the current chair of that committee this year. And we've been managing it for many years, and this enterprise zone offers different benefits. And what we've done is evaluate those benefits on a year-to-year basis. We report to our taxing bodies, our municipalities, and we help those businesses offset some of those costs for them to either build a new building or make improvements within the enterprise zone. We also, besides that incentive, there are so many grants and resources that are available in a state, local, and federal level, and we connect those businesses with those resources. And this is not an easy process. Some of this stuff is just even to be an applicant is very complicated. So we try to get them positioned to those. And we're also an advocate, and we're on committees with the state, with the Department of Commerce to advocate for, one, resources, and two, to improve their tools to make it easier for businesses to apply. So it's not just the enterprise zone, but there's like 29 resources on a weekly basis that we get, that we share with businesses that could be eligible for these. So we've been working with a number of businesses in this community, and there's just been a long history, and we've been partnering for many years, and none of that will ever stop. It's just that this helps us be able to do that a little bit easier and be able to have the team to support that.
Can you explain why all of a sudden, it's a kind of a pay-as-you-go process instead of what it used to be?
Well, actually, it has, we've always been an investment, and municipalities have. I have not approached Capron because we know that there's been challenges in the past financially, and so we understand your position and the challenges that you've had, and COVID put a spin into a lot of things. So we feel that, we've talked about you might be in a better financial position, that you might be able to contribute something, and we're in a position that we have a team of 3. We're a very small staff, and we have had a bigger economic impact in our region in Boone County than we've seen in DeKalb, we've seen in Rockford area. So for a small community our size, it's amazing. So we're not looking to make ourselves rich. We're looking to help push that further and work smarter, do smart marketing, really take advantage of a lot of the tools that we have at our resource, and really develop relationships. We believe that is essential with businesses. We want to position them to grow because it's not our success, it's your success, it's the business success that helps us. That's what we're all looking for. We're not looking.
Okay. I got one more question.
Sure.
On your level here, investor level benefits, you got the bronze level and the associate level at the same cost. Is that a typo?
Oh, I think it is.
There's an arrow right next
Oh,
to
yeah.
associate level, so that means
Yeah.
something different.
So
it says
bronze
less
level is
than
at
1,500,
1,500,
okay.
and it's less than 1,500 associate level. Thank you for
I just got
clarifying.
2 questions, actually. You said President Beck's the chairman on that right now?
On the enterprise zone committee.
Okay, and also, just now you're interested in Capron?
No, we've been working with Capron for years.
But it's just now you finally got to Capron, right?
No, just now we're requesting resources to support the work we're doing.
Right.
I've been on the committee either.
I just,
Either
we have
as-
some on there where you can't.
Well, like she said, she was saying that before, we didn't have the money in Capron
But
to even
still,
think about it.
it's
Now
not
we
much of
do.
interest, in my opinion.
Oh, we've been
So
working
I've
with
been on this committee since I've been president because,
That doesn't matter.
excuse me, let me finish. I've been president, I've been on this committee since I've been the president of Capron because there's an intergovernmental agreement that puts now, whether the previous presidents have participated or not is not something I can comment on, but they've been part of the committee for a long time, and Poplar Grove and Belvedere, et cetera, all of us are the chairman of the committee on a rotating basis. So I've been chairman once, and now I'm gonna be chairman again, and next year somebody else will be. And this goes along with not just growth dimensions, but the overall plan, the land plan and everything for the county, with the GIS maps and everything else that goes on. This is what we've been working on,
You can't
okay?
even get people to start businesses and empty businesses, so I'm.
Well, that's part of this process, okay? There's a couple of things. First of all, if anybody wants to move into any of these storefronts, I'm sure they have to be rehabbed to some extent, okay? And that costs money, all right? And Pam is in a position to direct these businesses to where they can get the money that they need to do this. And they also are a focal point for the county. If somebody comes in here and wants to put up a warehouse, or they want to do this, or they want to do that, they go to Growth Dimensions and say, where is my economic benefit? Where can I get the most bang for my buck, etc.? That's what they do.
Exactly.
So I've been working with Pam for the last 5 years. It's just that she hasn't come to us to actually ask us to be a formal partner on this level, because the village didn't have any money when I took over the village, okay? Now we have money because we've done what we needed to do, okay? We're not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but the village is on pretty sound financial ground right now, and I intend to keep it that way. And I've made no secret that the village is in pretty good shape, because we are, okay? Now, that doesn't mean we don't have more work to do, okay? But if Pam can help direct business this way, economic development this way, and it's feasible for us to take it on, which would increase our tax base, which would save money for everybody, because that's where it's at. The reason people put in industrial parks in their villages is because that's where the taxes come from, okay? So you don't have to rely on the homeowners to pay all your taxes. So if somebody wants to come in here and maybe annex a piece of property and put up some industrial site or something, it's something that we can look at, all right? It's something that Pam can help us develop, all right? And push this village in the right direction, okay? That's all I'm trying to do, okay?
Can we
That's
even-
all she's trying to do.
Can we even manage it with our well house, or our water plant?
We might be able
Water all the
to.
time?
We have excess capacity, okay? It
Doesn't
depends.
make it.
Everything depends on, I can't answer that question definitively, all right? It depends on what it is, where it is, how it is. It depends on what kind of grant money we can get to upgrade the structure, upgrade the underground. There's all kinds of things that come into play when you're dealing with economic development. And Pam is she's the person to go to. She's the expert in the field, and that's what she does.
I'd be more than happy with that, but our infrastructure doesn't seem like it can handle it.
Well, our infrastructure can handle so much, okay? And we've talked about that, and we've talked about it with Pam, okay? Poplar Grove has a similar problem. Explain what, because we had a meeting last month, November, I think it was. They've got all these subdivisions that they started. And then they stopped because of COVID, okay? And now they've got contractors that come in, developers that are coming in and looking at these unfinished subdivisions. And the problem is the infrastructure hasn't been used in years and it's rotted away. So all the drainage tiles to the retention ponds and the water mains and sewer lines all have to be redone, and these people are coming in and going, we don't want to deal with somebody else's problem, we want to start from scratch. So now what Poplar Grove is having to do is they're having to look for grant money to help them refurbish all this underground in all these empty places. You see all their water towers that they have all over the place, okay? They don't need that many water towers for the amount of people who live in there, but they planned for it because all these people came in and they were gonna put in these subdivisions. Well, now, she's stuck with all these subdivisions and all the infrastructure that's underneath them that's in bad shape that nobody wants to deal with, okay? So these are some of the things, all right? We have an infrastructure. It's not in that bad a shape, but it's not in that great a shape.
It is.
But if we get somebody that wants to come in here and do a development, and they can work with Pam and the village to come up with the resources to upgrade the things that need to be upgraded so that those things are possible, then that's a boon for the village.
You said yourself, we have sewer lines on top of water lines by Worcester Street. Shouldn't we be fixing an infrastructure?
What did I just say?
Mr. President,
I just explained it to you.
let's move.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
And give you some examples of, we do have marketed some of the storefronts that have been available here for businesses that are looking for space. They do contact us usually first and identifying what spaces have been available. We do have a site on our website that shows not only incentive programs and grants available and resources, but also locations. We have information on each communities. We have information on housing. We have information on also sites available for businesses. One of the things I'm working with Poplar Grove is a marketing strategy. So, and I'm working with the county and the general community on housing. How do we attract housing, or, that it's, each community wants. So there's just a lot of different things, and what we do is not cookie cutter, because it's all customized based on, somebody asked me once, how do we determine the economic vision? Well, really, it's your community that determines. We're the economic division. I just try to help you get to that point, to foresee your vision. So I hope we can be a partner to help you
Okay.
further with that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time.
So my recommendation is gonna be that we become an associate level member to start with, okay? And see how things go, all right? But we can vote on that in 2 weeks, okay? But I just wanted Pam to come back and give you guys the lowdown one more time, okay? You got any questions?
No, I'm still
No?
thinking.
Okay, Linda?
No.
Glenn?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, all right. Moving on, like I said, R1 is not here tonight, and she asked us to reschedule her, so I will after she lets me go. She's well, okay? All right, so trustee McMahon's not here, trustee Lacewell, you got anything?
I have spoken to a couple of food trucks.
Yes.
And Rusty Drum gave me the thumbs up for April.
Okay.
They will be here in April.
Okay,
And Fry Babies still has to get back to me.
Okay.
But they are looking to fill their schedule for next
Okay.
year. So food trucks are being talked to.
okay, good.
Starting April, we are going to go.
Okay, wonderful, all right. Trustee AG's not here, trustee Walford?
Just like you said, I had called you about some kids that
Yeah,
were
yeah,
damaging stuff at the factory. They have, the employees come outside for their cigarette breaks and their lunch, and they've had an old wooden chair that's been there for probably 19, 20 years, but they sit out there when they're using it. These two kids came along, and I was looking out the window and I was watching them, and they took the chair from behind and they opened it up and sat on it, and I thought, well, that's fine, they're not hurting anything there. Then the kid gets up and he takes it and he smashes it in the road and breaks it into hundreds of pieces, and it sat there and sat there and sat there. I yelled at the kids, told them that that was, not something that they were supposed to be doing, that, that belongs to somebody else, and they could be, responsible for that. And of course, then they go down into the cemetery, and of course, nobody's down there, so who knows what is happening down there? I worry about kids starting to damage headstones or something, so
Yeah.
that's why I did call you. That was the only thing. I think, we do need to get something for the kids to do, because they are going in the neighborhoods and doing stuff that they shouldn't be.
Yep, okay, thank you. Glenn, anything?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, well, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to
Can I
adjourn.
have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.